This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake.
Hey?
And we're here to show you what they got.
A lot of reissues this week.
Yeah, a decent number of reissues. Some repackagings of different things. But no Gundam.
Oh.
But here's a few things that you might like.
Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. I never knuckled under, I just gave up. All I have now are memories in my empty cup. She wasn't like Mary. She listened to my thoughts. She wasn't like Wendy, who was looking for a dad for her son Johnny. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, Genie again. She is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie again. She is all that I want, Genie. She wasn't like Zoe. She always called me back. She wasn't like Kathy. I wasn't the only one she had. Oh, Genie, come back to me. I want you in my life again. Oh, Genie, I want you back in my life again. So Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie again, she is all that I want, Genie. Oh, Genie. Without a word of love we had on Saturday. The weekend kiss, our innocence missed. I can't stop thinking of you. Tuesday's gone, you don't ring my phone. Wednesday, you don't look my way. I got the midweek heartache that's got me down in the dumps. 4 days before you held my hand and put your arms around my neck. Now you don't think of me, you won't even see me. It's times like these I wish I had time machine, a time machine. I wish I had a time machine. A time machine, a time machine, so I could go back in time when you loved me. When you loved me. There's no fancy way to say what we had last Saturday that felt so real on Lover's Lane was nothing more than a springtime fling. A springtime fling. I guess now that it's over, there's nothing I can do about it. It's times like these I wish I had a time machine, a time machine. I wish I had a time machine, a time machine, a time machine, so I could go back in time when you loved me.
We have a lot of fun things here this time around, but let's talk about, of course, our rating system. This is how we do it. We rate these movies because we want to be assholes about it. But you can enjoy that as we talk about our ratings. So, of course, priority, those are the things that we feel like we must get. We've got an eye on it. I mean, shoot, I just picked up something this time that would have probably been a priority. It was one that I waited on a long time, but I went ahead and jumped on it. So, you know, you may not get it right away, but darned if you're not going to get it.
Right.
Then yes, please, you're going to wish list that item. It's definitely in your range. If it comes by the right price, you'll spring on it. But, you know, you may be sad if it goes out of print, but, you know, c'est la vie. Curious. You get it if the price is right. And then, meh. You might get that for $1. Or for free. You'll take it for free.
Yeah.
And then, hell no, you are not letting that anywhere near your collection. I'm sure I'm going to have a few on... Actually, I can tell you there's at
Free
least...
is too much.
I can tell you there's going to be at least one item on my list that I'm going to rank priority, and Jake is going to rank hell no.
Aha.
I guarantee you.
Let's find out.
And you'll know which one it is when we come up on it.
I'm sure I will.
Obviously, it's this one. No.
Obviously.
But A Certain Magical Index, Season 1 is getting an Essentials release. So we were talking about this series because I've been debating getting the two-part split for Season 3 because it took so long for them to get to these full season sets. But at the same time, it's just like it's one of those I keep weighing up and down. It's like I really want to get Season 3 because I really love the series in many ways. But I don't want to spend $30 for half of it. But it's a pretty decent series. It's about this place where you've got two types of individuals. You've got people who can use magic, and you've got people who are like mutants, essentially. And I think they call them espers. And the main guy here has this power to where he can, it's called Imagine Breaker, where he can actually use his hand, make contact, to end basically magic or those powers as they go. So he can kind of cancel things out. And he runs into Index, who she just got this eidetic memory, and she has all the spells. So it's a decent enough series. It's one that's worth checking out if you haven't already. And this is not a bad price. $26 for a full season is not a bad price. But keep in mind what you're getting into, because you don't just have Index. You've got 3 seasons.
Well, you don't. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
You got 3 seasons of Index. You got a movie of Index. You got a scientific railgun, a certain scientific railgun, which has 3 seasons, and you've got a certain scientific accelerator, which only has 1 right now.
And there may be more seasons to come. Who knows? And movies.
Oh boy.
But here's the part that I find amusing. This is a very high profile, relatively acclaimed franchise, And it's getting the freaking Essentials treatment from Funimation. They continue to just baffle me with their selection criteria for this versus classics. But I will admit, if you don't have this, I have actually not yet. I can't remember if I watched the movie. My mind is such a mess. I don't. I have the movie, and I've had it for a while. I do have seasons 1 and 2 of both Index and Railgun. I want to see the show, but I will admit, if you have not seen it, based on reputation alone, this is a good way to start collecting it, and it is one you should start collecting. So I'll give it a yes, please, I think.
Yeah, to me, I have to give it a priority, but it'll stay a yes, please.
Right.
Mainly because I do prioritize wanting to finish the series. If I didn't have it, I probably would have gotten the season 1. Especially for this. I mean, especially at the Essentials, I would have gotten it. Because I guarantee you, at the first Rightstuf sale, it'll go down below 20.
Could be, yeah.
Well, the first Rightstuf sale, it's on.
Right. Well, I mean, they did just do the pre-sale that was Funimation heavy, and the Essential stuff was pretty cheap on that.
I mean, shoot, I'm probably going to pick up X next time I get it, because I've got like this 8-disc set for X, and I can get the whole series for $12 right now under that.
Not bad.
So that would be a heck of a thinning job right there.
Thinning job.
Thinning.
A thinning job. Okay. So, speaking of thinning jobs, although I'm not sure how much of one, because I'm not certain Sentai ever released all of this, or if they did a very poor job on a couple of the seasons. We have the Grisaya Complete Collection. Now, I know that they did a big release of the Fruit of Grisaya. I actually have a copy. But the Labyrinth of Grisaya and the Eden of Grisaya, I know that one person in our group has been asking about these and wondering about them. But this collection brings them all three together in a nice, simple, easy little collection. You got 10 episodes of the Fruit of Grisaya, 13 episodes of Fruit of Grisaya, 10 of Eden, and I'm guessing Labyrinth is a movie or an OVA. It gives no episode listing there.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, so yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, 24 episodes, so I guess it's an OVA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get this whole, well, I guess the whole franchise in one small package. This is one that I've heard about. I've heard mixed things about. It looks interesting. It looks twisted. It looks strange. I'd like to give it a go one day. I would happily swap out my copy of Fruit for the complete collection.
Oh, yeah. It needs to be a little bit cheaper, though, than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that expensive, but I could go 20, 22, something like that.
And I don't have any of the series right now, so at least I don't feel obligated.
Well, given that I have part of it, I probably would have gone Curious, but I'm going to have to say borderline yes, please, just because of that I have part and I want to get, finish it off.
I've read the summary. I'm curious.
Okay.
But, so that takes it off the borderline.
Okay, there you go.
Alright, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Golden Wind Set 1, is getting a cheaper release. Though I don't know really how much cheaper looking, because these two sets, part 1 and 2 of this series, I did not like what they did with the premium editions of those. When they did such an amazing job with the rest, why they kind of walked out of that.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about JoJo aside from season 1. But, it's a series that's really high up there, and the first season was pretty interesting. I need to see the Stardust Crusaders, because that's the one that everybody talks about. That's the one that everybody loves.
I feel like this one was highly rated, too.
So,
I could be wrong.
I'm curious about it. And I have to go above curious because I own it. So if I didn't own my versions of it, I would be getting it. So it would be a priority for me.
Well, I'm again on the border between curious and yes please, but I'll be nice and go yes please so that you don't have to go as far. Well, I guess it would go the same.
Well, you'd have to
way.
say meh to get it down there.
That's true.
I know you're not at meh with JoJo.
Right. I'm interested. It's like Index. There's so much of
yeah.
it that it's like, and it's friggin' expensive.
It is expensive, yes.
Yeah.
We talk about how expensive Funimation can
Right.
get, but this is pretty much identical in
Right.
how they handle things.
So, next up, another franchise, which is a franchise bringing together franchises, and this is Isekai Quartet 2, Season 2. It's kind of a redundant way of putting it, but anyway. So, as we all know, Isekai Quartet brings together. Go down a little bit. We've got. Oh, it doesn't say, does it? So it brings together Overlord, the Saga of Tanya the Evil, Relife, right?
Yeah.
And Konosuba.
ReZero,
and Konosuba, and apparently Rising of Shield Hero joins in, and so this particular one. So I guess is it no longer a quartet? Is that?
I guess so. And,
I guess.
What's funny is that I have Rising of Shield Hero, so
Right.
I still have all the components of it.
And we still have a series, and it still is a series comprised entirely of series I have not seen,
Nope.
and yet want to see. I have been collecting one of the series, but I also do have part one of Isekai Quartet, and I really want to watch it. Even if I don't know the other series, I have heard this is a really fun show, and I think it'll be enjoyable. And I'm going to go yes please on this one.
I need to do an isekai, just like an isekai viewing spree, because I've got all the parts that are involved in the crossovers. Mm-hmm. So I would probably go with a priority on that one as well. I will probably get that one sooner than later. It's cheap enough that if it goes on sale at any time, it'll drop really quick.
Yeah, I was amazed how quickly I was able to get Isekai Quartet at a cheap price, because,
all of the isekais that they're composed of are almost all like top notch. I mean, Shield Hero is really high.
I've heard great things.
Tanya the Evil has been well written. It has a season 2 or a movie coming out soon. Overlord, I've heard a lot of good things about. I've heard a crap ton of amazement and love for ReZero. It's just and Konosuba.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of really high grades. All right.
Okay.
So we have a lot of these Disney ones. I ended up taking the bulk of them just because I was trying to split this up, and sometimes it just comes like this.
Right.
But Disney is doing some crunching down of their series for pretty decent prices. I will let you know, we're on Disney Movie Club. It's only available in Disney Movie Club. So this price you see is only if you're getting something else at full price.
That's not bad, though.
So $30 if you're just buying it on its own. But you're getting both Ant-Man movies on Blu-ray, which isn't too bad.
In one collection, so it's saves space.
And there's a lot of space savers here, and we're going to be seeing a lot of them there. Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, great films. Very fun. I guess I should
Looking forward to the third one coming out next year, I believe.
If I didn't have them, I probably would prioritize them because it's great. It'd be great to save the room. I don't know if it's worth it to me to change up again.
Oh, it's definitely a priority. The both movies are great, and yeah, if I didn't have them, and it's even kind of tempting. Although I already have nice little slim Blu-ray ones that look a little nicer than this, so
So
okay.
We'll move on.
All right. Now, speaking of a potential, this is a strong potential upgrade because I think I have this on DVD. One of my favorite films of the early aughts was Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous, which is getting a 4K Steelbook re-release with a pretty cool-looking cover, actually. I love the original artwork. The original artwork of this movie is iconic. I would be loath to get rid of it. But
see.
again, I have this on DVD. It is a film that screams out for a Steelbook 4K. Yeah, there you
That's
got
the
the
one there.
original cover art.
There's another one that's out.
Right.
That's coming out. That's like that Paramount style. You know the
Okay.
ones they've been
Oh
releasing in that
yeah,
style?
those yeah.
It's releasing
Pretty
also
cool.
there. I
Okay.
just couldn't find it.
But
Actually, maybe that's it. Yes.
Oh, okay. And this is the same release date?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of cool looking too.
It's just not 4K.
It's not 4K. It has the original cover art on the inside of the cover, for some reason. But for those of you who don't know, Almost Famous is a film inspired by Cameron Crowe's own youth as a music writer. And it's got a great cast. Kate Hudson was at the peak of her career with this one. You've also got Billy Crudup, Jason Lee, Frances McDormand, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, tons of people, kick-ass music. Basically, this kid ends up touring with a fictional band called Stillwater, it's a great movie. A lot of fun. We have to cover it one day on Movies Galore. I mean, that's a given. We gotta do it. But this one, I'm tempted to say it's a priority just because either one of these sets would be a great upgrade from the DVD copy I already have. And I'd like to upgrade it. And I will say straight up, if I did not have it, I would be getting it. So it is a priority.
Well, it's an Oscar winner if I recall correctly. Was it?
I think Hudson maybe won.
I want to say it is an Oscar.
I feel
winner.
like she won. Here we go. No,
Yep.
he won.
Yep.
He won for the screenwriting.
But it is an Oscar winner.
Yes, yes.
So, at minimum, it's a yes, please for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to put it at yes, please, mainly because I like the film, but I don't love the film. So, I will leave it at that. I definitely think it's a yes, please. I think it's an important film, but not quite there. All right, moving on. All right, so now we are at the one I was telling you all about. This is the only place you can get it, so keep this marked. Make Flicks is where you can get it. It's called Bonejack and Teen Ape's Dirty Dozen.
Okay.
So, this has got a lot of stuff on it because you got a lot of these shot on video cult classics on 4D discs for the first time.
Oh dear God, Filthy McNasty's on there.
Yeah, so you've got Quest for Egg Salad, Destruction Kings, Carnage for the Destroyer, and let's see, Teen Ape Goes to Camp, Film Crew, Wet Heat, Taint Light, and of course the 4 Filthy McNasty films are also on this. So, it is right there. And it has the Mulva,
somewhere.
and also has the 2 Mulva movies. So you've got that one. That's why they just put these up there so that you could see Mulva double feature and the Filthy McNasty quadrilogy, which I do have on DVD, but it would be a great upgrade to Blu-ray. So, I actually have ordered this. Because it's only 500 units, so it'll sell out pretty quickly. And so if you want this, you better be getting this because it will go out. Yes, 500 is a lot of units, and yes, Filthy McNasty may not have that big a following, but I assure you it has a big enough following to where it can get those people on board. I'm looking for it right now. What is it called? The Bonejack and Teen
I don't think
Tape.
that was actually in your slideshow because I do not remember seeing that.
I must have tried to save it and the file must have got corrupted. Well, now, for those of you who are just listening in, you get to have this in your lineup. So, Let's say I will put. Let's see. What's one that we are not covering that I can use? I'm gonna put this Tremors 4 as my stand-in because I've got a lot of Tremors there. So to me, it's a priority. I know you're not going to put it a priority. You're probably going to put it.
No, I'm not going to put it a priority. Did we watch more than one of the Filthy McNasty movies as a group, or was it?
No, just
we saw the one, and it was enough for. It was enough. It's like if George found it too vulgar, then you know something's wrong. I have mixed feelings. It's a cool looking set. I love the cover art. I really love the cover art there. And anything that's this much of a rarity, I'm not going to say hell no categorically. But I also could not justify spending $40 on that. I'm going to give it a meh, because I would definitely not turn it down for like, let's say I find it for $5, I would get it for that.
I'll take it down to a curious.
Okay.
Because we round down.
Yeah. You'll just have to remember which one it is.
All right. So Ernest and Celestine. Sorry.
All right, Ernest and Celestine, as he said. Anyway. So, this was an Oscar-nominated French film, if memory serves, although most people probably know it from the American. This was it's based on I want to say a children's book series, and it's supposed to be a really delightful, fun little movie. I have actually not seen it. I need to. I really want to. It's just one of those things that just never quite happened. It's getting a re-release. I don't know why. I don't know what is triggering it, but
that's the previous release.
Okay, is this the current?
That's the old release.
That's the old. Okay.
So, yeah, look at how different it is.
So this is the new one. Yeah, it doesn't look much different.
G-Kids, it looks like.
Do we know? Yeah, do we know if it's got anything new in terms of bonus features and whatnot?
Let's see. Not really.
No, it doesn't look like it. But it looks fun. It is, well, from what I hear, it's fun. And G-Kids / I'm guessing Shout is the co-releaser. They do pretty solid little packages. Yeah. They always look good. This is something that could cross my path again. But it seems to hold its price pretty well, and that's probably one of the reasons I haven't gotten it yet. But if I found it for $10, I'd snap it up in a heartbeat. I'll give it well, because it's an Oscar nominee, it's a minimum yes, please. And I can go with that.
I'd give it a yes, please, because it's been adorning my wish list for years. I just haven't bothered to get it.
You did actually see it, right?
Nope.
No? Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
If I'd seen it, and I knew you didn't see it, I would definitely have covered it, but I thought you had seen it.
Nope.
So
Nope.
I was like, oh, you must have seen it.
Nope.
There you go.
Oh!
My turn. Oh, never mind.
I don't think this was on your slideshow either.
Oh, well, it is now.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2-movie collection.
Oh.
Again, this is going to be this is one of those that is another great Marvel franchise. Again, all on DisneyMovieClub.com. That's it. And out of all of it, that's what we get. I mean, it's good films, excellent films. I mean, I can't really give it anything more than a priority, because it's pretty much any of these is going to be a priority for me. Yeah. If I can find it.
Well, again, it wasn't on your slideshow.
Surprising how these.
Tremors 3, I guess.
There you go. Tremors 3 priority. I'll use Tremors 2 to mark the actual Tremors releases.
Okay. So spoiler alert: there's some Tremors coming up too. But yeah, the Guardians film's freaking awesome. Just like with Ant-Man and the Wasp, there is a third one already on the way. So these will be sets that will need to be upgraded again eventually. But for right now, you still save some space. And if you don't have the Guardians movies, what the hell are you waiting for?
Yep.
So,
Well worth it.
yeah. All right, so you said this one got pushed back a bit, right?
Oh wait, sorry, it was the wrong one. But never mind. There's another one that you're covering. You'll see
Oh,
it.
okay.
You'll see it.
So, a film written and directed by Sean Penn and based on a memoir, if I remember correctly, of a dude who decided to go off the grid and eventually very much went off the grid. A film called Into the Wild. This was an Oscar nominee for supporting actor for Hal Holbrook in one of his shining moments. And it's a great cast overall. Catherine Keener, Vince Vaughn, William Hurt, Marcia Gay Harden, Emil Hirsch is your main dude, the main character in the movie. And I believe there were a lot of, I want to say Jenna Malone was in this. There were a lot of people who showed up at one point or another. It's a really good movie. It's essentially a road movie, but it's also about just finding yourself and, you know, just getting out there and meeting people and trying to, you know, it's a movie that's a much more highly rated than I would rate it, personally. Its IMDb rating is pretty friggin' high. But it is an essential for the collection. It's a good movie. I would probably not put it as a priority, although it's close. But I would easily give it a yes, please.
Well, I wonder if it's like Nomadland.
It's in that vein in a way.
Well, I'll give it a curious.
So you haven't seen that one either?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nada.
Okay.
So, Held. So this is one of the ones I made up to try and make up numbers to keep up. And I thought it looked interesting. In an effort to repair their ailing marriage, a couple vacations in a remote luxury rental, only to become forcibly trapped inside an unseen voice that tells them their every move is being watched, revealing intimate knowledge about their relationship. As events get more brutal, the couple must work together to uncover the truth and find their way out before it's too late. Now, psychological horror. But, you know, I looked at it. It looked interesting. Magnet puts out some interesting things. It's probably it's cheap now, but it'll probably not be cheap in the future until it goes to Dollar Tree.
I'd buy that for $1.
So I'm probably going to put it as curious because I really am not all that interested in it, but it's one that I would definitely pick up if I was feeling whimsical.
Like I said, I'd buy that for $1.
Okay. So, moving on.
Okay. So I get one of these. Okay, the Iron Man 3-movie collection. This one has gone all the way through its little cycle. But of course, because Iron Man kicked off the MCU, we got our nice little collection, all 3 Tony Stark featured movies. That's really all you need to know there. Once again, nice little slim package. They are charging a little more because of that extra movie, but, you know, that makes sense. I mean, you know, it's logical. But, yeah, if you don't, once again, if you don't have the Iron Man movies, what's wrong with you?
Those I did.
But they are absolutely a priority if you don't already have them. I'm even mildly tempted, but only mildly tempted, to do this. Partly because I have the first one on Steelbook, so it's like, no.
See what's weird? The only Marvel movie I really feel like upgrading is Incredible Hulk, but that's because I have it on DVD.
Yeah. Well, actually, the original Iron Man was the only one I got on DVD. Because it was the first one out of the gate, and it was really before I got into Blu-ray. So that was the only one.
Well, that's why Incredible Hulk was there.
Right.
Let's see here. So, a big one for me, House of Wax. Scream Factory is releasing yet another one of the Dark Castle classics. I'm probably going to wait till it cuts in price a little bit because I don't want to pay $30 for it. But a lot of people are wanting this for the exclusive poster. I don't love this film enough for the exclusive poster, but I do enjoy the fact that they kill Paris Hilton off in the first scene.
That's always fun.
And it's a fairly decent one. I'd say it's on the edge for what you would be able to tolerate, but I think you could deal with it. It's no worse than some of the ones that we've had from Dark Castle.
Killing Paris Hilton's great.
Yeah. You got this guy who kills these people and then makes them into wax statues.
Lovely.
Of course, there's a lot of cool special features, as always. They have some of the old ones that they had on the old release. I do have this on DVD, and I will get this eventually. It will be mine. Oh, yes. Much like House on Haunted Hill or 13 Ghosts, or any of those were mine. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be mine. That's just a win. And that one is a priority for me, if I can find it.
That one does have impressive bonus features, I'll admit, but... and as such, I'd buy that for $1.
Well, that'll take us down to Curious.
Okay.
And we're moving on.
Moving on. Next up, we have Limbo. Waiting is a group effort. Well, what I understand is that this is apparently this dude ends up, he's a refugee who ends up on a remote Scottish island where a bunch of refugees end up. And that really is the plot as I understand it. It's supposed to be a pretty remarkably uplifting movie given the subject matter. I don't really know anything else about it. I'd never even heard of it before this, but I really liked what I read about it. It looks interesting, and I'd like to see it, and I figure that's enough to give it a curious.
Alright, I can leave it there.
Okay.
Alright. So, the Monster Collection.
Uh-huh.
So, this is an interesting thing. I love this cover.
Oh, that is a cool looking cover, yeah. I love the artwork.
And it has the Frankenstein Complex and Phil Tippett, Mad Dreams and Monsters on it. I don't know if I would consider it a full collection as it's just 2 films, but still, it is kind of cool. I do, like I said, this would be a cool thing to have up on the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
More of a curiosity than it is anything else. The films were okay. But,
you've seen them?
yes.
And you didn't think they were all that?
They were okay.
You didn't learn a lot?
No.
Yeah. What I read about them made them sound like they could be pretty informative, but yeah.
I mean, they were good, but, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. That's a kick-ass cover, though.
Yeah, I'll give it a curious.
That cover is worth the...
Almost. Okay. Speaking of fun covers, I don't think you had the Steelbook on your thing, but...
That's because Best Buy doesn't like to let me take their images.
They're silly. Anyway, the most acclaimed film of 2021. The new movie rendition of Mortal Kombat is out on home release. I have heard from many people that this film is a little bit of a bait and switch, that they give you a lot of promises of Sub-Zero and Scorpion and various other characters that we've all grown to love and or hate, but you spend most of the movie with one dude that you've never heard of being trained to enter the tournament. And the movie doesn't even include much in the way of tournaments. This is what I have heard about it. I have not yet seen it. I have heard that it's perfectly decent for what it is, but that you have to temper your expectations going in. It definitely looks like they were banking on a sequel, and I don't know if they'll get one. But as long as the sequel's better than the original sequel, that's not much of a bar.
That's not much of a bar to go.
But I admit, Mortal Kombat has always been I have mixed feelings for this franchise. But in a weird way, there's sort of a nostalgia there that makes me very curious about this movie. And I certainly am willing to put it at curious.
I can leave it there. I'm curious. I may eventually... I almost would put it at yes, please, because I have the other two, but
Right.
since it's a remake, I can
Right.
not include it in that if I so I don't have to get it.
Right.
But one everybody has to get is
Yep.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, being released again on Blu-ray
Mm-hmm.
for 2021 at $14.99.
Mm.
So, you know, it's a nice movie. We're covering it at the end of the month on Inside Movies Galore. And
Is this at the end of the month?
Yes, last one of the month. So theoretically, you could order it
No
and have
way.
it by the end of the month.
I don't know why I thought Canadian Bacon was the last one. Oh,
I think
okay.
the next one is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but I could be wrong.
Which would be...
But it's either that one or Canadian Bacon, but I'm
Right.
pretty sure it's Canadian Bacon. But I can look that up in between takes and we'll know.
So sometime this month we'll be covering this.
Yes,
movie.
it will be covered.
Yes,
and
and it's a fun one.
Yes, it is a good movie. Some even would say it's one of John Candy's best performances. I don't know whether I would agree with that or not.
Mm-hmm.
I like the movie, most definitely. And I am... if I didn't get it as a part of that John Hughes collection, that upgraded my copy to Blu-ray,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably end up upgrading it
Mhm.
because it is a good movie to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put it as a yes, please, because it is an amazing movie.
Sadly, I can't remember if I have it. I don't think I do, though. So I might need to order it just to make sure I have it. And I can go yes, please, just because this is such a acclaimed film. That's the proper order?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Canadian Bacon is next, so it's at the
Okay.
end of the month.
Now, I know I have Canadian Bacon. I need to dig that out of storage.
They got the same votes.
Yeah. But this is a quality film. It is an essential. So, yeah. I think we can say yes, please.
And we'll be airing early that time, too,
Mhm.
because we'll be going on at 7 our time,
Oh, right. Oof.
because we're accommodating somebody else.
Right. That's going to be rough. Okay. Pennyworth. The second season about a young Alfred Pennyworth. And, well, there you go. That's what you need to know. But as I've said before, I do want to see this show.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it. Basically a spin-off / prequel to Gotham. Yeah.
So
Oh, yes, please.
I'll put it there myself.
I would almost say priority, but I know I would not be paying close to full price. You know.
It's not terrible, though.
Right, yeah, no. But I like to get those sets when they're $10 each. You know, Black Friday.
All right. So,
Okay.
Saving Silverman,
Mm.
which I thought was interesting. That I was surprised you didn't aim for this because it's an early Jack Black credit.
Yeah, but I've actually never seen this.
I've seen it, oddly enough. It's a decent enough comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my cup of tea, but I felt like it needed to be covered. So, it's an okay thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there you go. It's okay. I enjoyed it all right.
Mm-hmm.
I put it as a curious.
I can go with that. Okay.
All right.
Okay, now a film that got a far different reception from the critics when it came out, well, for better or for worse, was the film by everyone's favorite fugitive, Roman Polanski, called The Pianist, in which Adrian Brody made history as the youngest Best Actor Oscar winner at 29. For some reason, that category skews much older than any other category. And Polanski himself won an Oscar and a BAFTA, despite the fact that he had been a fugitive at this point for over 20 years? 25 years? But this is based on a true story. and it's a World War II film, so, of course the Oscars loved it. But it is a freaking awesome World War II film. Whatever Polanski's issues, he can spin a mean yarn. And this is his best film, bar none. And it is an essential for the collection. I would absolutely say it's a priority. If you don't have it, you should get it. And I'm tempted to upgrade because, again, DVD.
I'm probably not going to upgrade just because I hate throwing any more money Polanski's way. But it is an excellent film. I'll probably leave it as a priority because it is an amazing film. I would get it if it wasn't there, but I could say it's on a low priority because I would just be, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I don't understand why the community has done. I don't understand why Woody Allen got blackballed entirely, and Polanski has, for the most part, he has gotten some, but he had for the longest time just skated. That doesn't make sense.
Well, both of them are still popular and able to do a lot in Europe.
Yes.
And every now and then, like last year, the Césars blew up.
Yeah.
In part because of anger over Polanski's lack of punishment, basically. Yeah, so it does happen, but yeah. All right.
And there we go. Separation. Now, I wasn't going to put this, but again, I wanted to fill some space. But I also had been debating this anyway because this is one of those. I saw like the trailer for it, and it looks creepy as fuck. I do want to see this. Let's see here. So, 8-year-old Jenny leads a lonely but imaginative life surrounded by puppets based on the works of her artist father. But when her mother is tragically killed in a hit and run, and her grandfather sues for custody, the puppets and the other frightening characters suddenly start coming to life. At first, Ginny is the only person who believes they're real, putting everyone's lives in danger. I really want to see this film. I do. I want to make sure I put this on my wish list, which should tell you what I'm going to rate it. So, because I wish listed it, I have to put it at yes, please. But it just, I love a good haunted thing, and the possessed dolls, it's just creepy. I bet you this is going to be creepy as hell.
This one did not do it for me just based on the image, but then when you showed me a little more about it, Brian Cox can be great in these kind of films, and the creepy dolls idea makes... I'm actually tempted to go curious, but it's almost more of a meh. It's right on the border there. You can take it what you will. It'll probably pull it down to curious either way.
I was going to say, unless you say hell no, it's going to go to curious.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Okay, one of our many re-releases. We've mentioned a lot of re-releases already, yes. but another one is the Ava DuVernay film Selma, which stars David Oyelowo as Martin Luther King Jr., and you got a number of other people in there, including Oprah Winfrey, Cuba Gooding Jr., etc., etc., etc. Really good film. Really damn good film. Inexplicably nominated for Best Picture and only one other award. I really think Oyelowo probably should have been up for actor. This is a really good film. Basically about, the events surrounding Selma during the Civil Rights era. And, again, I would say if you don't have it, it's probably an essential for the collection. I'm not sure I would go full priority. it would be right on the border for me. I'd almost say I'd run out and get it, and then I'd go, nah, I'm not rich enough to do that. So I'll probably go yes, please, but it's right on the border.
Yeah, it's a yes, please for me.
Mm.
All right, moving right along. Okay. All right, so
there we go.
Tremors 2, 3, and 4, if you haven't figured it out already, are getting a Blu-ray treatment, which has been kind of missing with the first film, because the first film got the Blu-ray single treatment a while back. Got a really nice
Who's
edition.
putting these out? These look like Shout releases.
It could be Shout. Nope, Universal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, it's good to see them getting that. I like these movies. I do. I find them highly entertaining.
Right.
They're very enjoyable. I can't put them as a priority, but I don't want to put them as a curiosity either, because they are fun films, especially the first 3. The fourth film is... but that's all right, because that fourth film is okay. I would put this one as a yes, please, because I think that people should... I mean, these are just fun films.
I would say... this is tricky. The first one, indisputably, would be a yes, please. The second 2 and 3... Well, it'll be nice and say 2 and 3 are yes, please. 4, though, I'd have to go curious. I think that's enough of a drop off by that point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
A 3 is obviously.
Obviously, yeah. Whew, but they are fun. And thanks again for Dustin for making us watch them again. You know, that was good times. Anyway, another movie I hope we get to do one day on Movies Galore is Guy Ritchie's Snatch. Back in the day, Guy Ritchie was known for a certain brand of gangster film. And he has tried to branch out over the years to some areas more successfully than others. And he recently had a wondrous return to form with The Gentleman. But Snatch is just a damn fun movie, and it's got some good people. It's got some of his old standbys, Vinnie Jones, Jason Statham, some of those folks. But also you got Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt just having a good old time with an almost unintelligible accent. It's basically just a gangster... it's an entry into the criminals are stupid genre. That's really the best way to put it. And this is getting the 4K treatment this week, which I'm not sure it needs 4K, maybe. But once again, I think this is one I have on DVD, and I wouldn't mind upgrading it. But... and kind of like with Selma, I want to say it's a top priority, but I know in reality it's not. But it's a solid yes, please for me.
I don't think I've watched it.
Really?
I want to say that copy that's there is Kim's.
Ah.
But, I'm curious about it. Because I like The Gentleman. I'm willing to go with that. All right.
Okay.
Alright, so the Warriors, they can come out and play, as they say. I have gone so long without seeing this film, and everybody tells me I need to see this film.
Okay.
So therefore I need to make sure I talk about this film, because if I get a version of this film, this is probably going to be it. I feel like it's one that is well known enough and has a cult status enough that I need to have it in my collection.
I don't know this one.
It's about a bunch of gangs, like silly gangs and stuff.
Silly gangs.
Who do silly gang things, and they say, "Warriors, come out and play, yay!" And then they play ball or something.
Okay.
And they bake cupcakes at the end. There we go.
Ooh, there we go. That sells it there.
I'm sure I've offended some Warriors fans here. But I'm going to put it as a yes, please, because it's one that's ever so much on my wish list, and it's one that has enough cult status that I feel like it needs to be in the collection. It's just, I don't have the, I don't have the will to put it as a priority.
I'll give it a curious. I'm
All right.
vaguely curious.
Especially that cupcake
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. No, that's what put it up to a curious there. Okay, There Is No Evil. This is a Kino Lorber release. A film by Mohammad Rasulov. And it's an Iranian film that tells 4 interconnected stories, as I understand. Anthology film, yes. Which is basically, it's apparently a meditation on the death penalty. Following specifically the people who are responsible for enforcing the death penalty. And the closest thing I can think of for this was the film oh jeez, the one Alfred Woodard did last year. I can't remember, but she plays like a warden of a prison who's in charge of death row, or having to deal with death row. That one I think covered similar ground, but this is supposed to be a really good film. It says here, shot in secret and smuggled out of Iran. I mean, that sounds pretty intriguing there. And I'm a big fan from what I've seen of Iranian cinema, so this one is a solid yes please for me. I do want to see it.
I do like some of the Iranian cinema I have seen. I will give it as a curious. It is also DVD only.
Ah, okay.
Hello, kitten. Oh, you want to sleep on my shoe? All right. Well, that's your priority. All right. So,
All right.
Scrooged is getting a re-release again. On Blu-ray. I mean, not much to say about this other than I think I do have the Scrooged Blu-ray now.
I have this on Blu-ray myself.
I'll have to check while you're up and see if it's there or whether I just... No, I still have it on DVD. Well, you know, I need to upgrade it to Blu-ray eventually. Because it is a good film.
It is.
And it's one of my favorite Christmases, despite what Dane will tell you. But you can hear his opinion as to why he thinks it sucks on Inside Movies Galore as we discuss it.
As well as multiple additional opinions of different levels of interest on it.
Everybody talked about how much it sucked. It was how it was.
Especially you, right?
Yeah, especially me. I talked about how the last ghost should have been there the whole movie, and that was just that would have held it up. But no, it is a classic film. Matter of fact, it's probably one of my favorite Christmas films. I would have to put it as a priority. If I didn't have it, I would be getting it, and I may be. If it gets down to around $10, I will upgrade. There will be no doubt. I will upgrade at 10.
I can give it a yes, please.
All right.
It is an excellent film.
So, we'll move on.
Okay, next up, we have another one of those Guy Ritchie films. Apparently, this year's release, Wrath of Man, brings back his old buddy Jason Statham. And from what I understand, this is a fairly dark and bloody take on the gangster kind of movie that he likes to do so much. Like I said, that's all I know about it. I know it's recent. I've heard a little bit about this one. I knew it was coming out. But, you know, Statham works really well with Ritchie, so... and he's generally a solid actor. Even though he usually plays Jason Statham, he plays Jason Statham really well. And I do think this looks like it could be interesting, so I'll give it a strong curious.
Yeah, I can go curious.
Okay.
Alright. The last of them. Matter of fact, I can get rid of that because that's done. Okay, the last of these Marvel films that is being released on these packages, which is the 3-movie collection for Thor. So you have Thor, Thor Ragnarok, and there was another one. What was it? There were only 2.
That other one.
The one that obviously everybody considers their favorite Marvel film. But, you know, as it is, they were fun movies. Actually, to tell you the truth, out of the trilogy, really Ragnarok's the only one that I was like, ooh, this is the extremely great film.
Oh, it is great.
But, the other two are okay. And I still consider it right up there with the rest. I mean, I can't really leave any of these Marvel out.
Thor, more so than most, had very different people behind the camera for each movie. And each film really kind of leaned into their strengths. I can't even remember who did the second one, but that falls into the... but you had... The first one was Kenneth Branagh. And Kenneth Branagh is a Shakespearean actor who's very into the pomp and the grandeur and the classicism. And the first Thor does have a Shakespearean vibe to it, which is pretty good. And then, of course, you had Taika Waititi, who's batshit insane, who did Ragnarok, and the movie is batshit insane. So, it's great.
So where would you put it?
Oh, it's definitely a priority. Even though Dark World is weak, it's still worth having, and it's not enough to diminish the impact of the other two.
Well, speaking of priority for you.
Yes. So... Film noir hits the mean streets of 1990s Los Angeles in this first of two Criterion films coming out this week. Deep Cover, which is a film by Bill Duke, which stars Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum. And not only that, you've got Dr. Dre apparently stepping out from NWA with his debut single was the theme song for this film. So that right there, Fishburne, Goldblum, and Dr. Dre, hell yeah, I want to see this. I do. I want to see this movie. It's got a fair number of special features, nothing extraordinary, but I do like me a good noir, and I love the people behind this, the pedigree that we have here. I think I'm going to give that a... See, I'm too broke to give it a priority. It's the one, I'm going to have to say yes, please, but if I had money, it'd be a priority.
I can go curious on it.
Okay.
I mean, again... I may go back one more time for Criterion, but if I do, it's only for one film, and this ain't it.
Yeah.
But it will be on the sale.
Right. It may be a November pickup for me, I have to admit.
So, The Web.
I know why this is on your list.
So, well, it's a Vincent Price is in there. So, this is one of those filler ones that I kind of threw on, again, to pad it up. From Michael Gordon, the acclaimed director of An Act of Murder, The Lady Gambles, Woman in Hiding, Pillow Talk, Oscar winner by the way, Portrait in Black, and Texas Across the River, comes this stylish film noir starring Ella Raines. Let's see here. Edmund O'Brien, Williams Bendix, and Vincent Price. He might have done a couple of things we know of. So Leopold Kroner, formerly of Colby Enterprises, is releasing after 5 years of prison for embezzlement. Andrew Colby, claiming that Kroner has threatened him, hires lawyer Bob Reagan as a secret bodyguard. Sure enough, Kroner turns up in Colby's room with a gun, and Reagan kills him. Then Reagan, who sticks around to romance Colby's secretary, Noelle, begins to suspect he's being used. So it's interesting. It's got some interesting things. It's worth a curious for me.
And it looks like Price plays the rat bastard character in that one, which he often does to great effect. So, yeah. I'm curious. I almost put it on my list, but I was trying not to go overboard with other stuff. And then we have one more Criterion release, a Lizzie Borden film called Working Girls. And this is I believe this is this a documentary? I think it is. Or maybe not. No, never mind. I don't know. But anyway, so it reveals the textures of a day in life of Molly, a photographer working part-time in a Manhattan brothel, as she juggles a steady stream of clients, balances nurturing relationships with her coworkers with the demands of an ambitious madam, and above all fights to maintain her sense of self in a business in which the line between the personal and the professional is all too easily blurred. This is a 1986 film. Decent bonus features once again. Not extraordinary number, but a decent amount. And looks pretty good overall. Again, this is a Criterion release and one that I have some intrinsic interest in, so I'll give it a yes, please.
Yeah, look at the spine, like 1,087. I'm thinking to myself, there's some dude out there
Yeah,
who has collected every Criterion release since the beginning.
that'd be a fun-looking collection, I admit.
I could see myself doing that one. And actually, I could put this as a yes, please. That one has my interest a little bit more, but still not probably going to get it for anytime soon. But you know, but yeah, I think it has my interest. So we have an interesting assortment here. Again, this is supposed to represent a Marvel film. This one's supposed to represent the Filthy McNasty thingy. And otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this. We had a couple of things that were on here. I mean, SpongeBob films, Charmed.
We did, yeah. We discussed Charmed a couple weeks back, so we did a few weeks back. I almost mentioned The Great Gabbo, Larceny, The Man in the Hat. You know, there was some interesting stuff, but.
So, you know, as it is, we have a decent lineup. No hell no.
Actually, one of the ones that I have on DVD that I could upgrade is Skin Deep, but I haven't seen it, so yeah.
Well, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. Hit that like button.
Hey, Phil.
Hit subscribe. And, of course, share. But, of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. How's it going, Phil?